Help me reach 1,000 subscribes. Support the video with a like and leave your thoughts in the comments. I read every comment. Thanks. I never thought betrayal would arrive so quietly. No screaming, no dramatic discovery. Just a feeling that something in my marriage had shifted, like the floor under my feet had slowly tilted, and I was the only one trying to stay balanced. My name is James. I'm 42, married to Elizabeth for 11 years. Or at least I was married to the version of her I thought I knew. Elizabeth used to be predictable in the best way. Morning coffee together. A quick kiss before work. Random texts about nothing important. Somewhere along the way, those things faded. She started guard her phone like it contained secrets. Passwords changed. Notifications silenced. When I asked how her day was, I got summaries instead of stories. I told myself not to be paranoid. Trust is supposed to be quiet, right? But doubt is loud when you're alone with it. Late nights at work events became normal. Weekends filled with vague plans I wasn't part of. I didn't accuse her. I watched. I listened. I waited. One night, while she was in the shower, her phone buzzed on the counter. I wasn't snooping. I wasn't looking for proof. I just saw the name. A man I didn't know. The message preview was enough. It wasn't explicit. It was intimate. Familiar. That was the moment I stopped guessing. I confronted her the next morning, calmly. No raised voice. No theatrics. I asked a simple question. Is there someone else? Elizabeth didn't deny it. She sighed, sat down, and said she didn't mean for it to happen. That it started as emotional support. That she felt lonely. I remember nodding, like she was explaining a delay instead of dismantling my life. She cried, said it was a mistake, said she still loved me. I listened without interrupting, because I needed to hear everything before I decided anything. When she finished, I stood up and walked into the kitchen, poured myself a glass of water. My hands were steady. That surprised me. If this story feels familiar, tap like so it reaches others who might be quietly living the same reality. I didn't kick her out. I didn't storm off. I told her I needed time to think. That night, I slept in the guest room and stared at the ceiling, replaying every ignored instinct from the past year. The trust wasn't cracked. It was gone. The next evening, I asked her to sit with me. I told her I wasn't going to beg, threaten, or compete. I said if she wanted any chance of saving what we had, there would be one condition, not a negotiation, not a discussion. A condition. She leaned forward, hopeful. I told her she would have to cut all contact with him immediately. No closure conversations. No explanations. No friendship. Full transparency. Phone access. Accounts open. And couples counseling scheduled by her not someday but now. I told her I wouldn't police her forever, but I needed to see effort before I could even consider trust again. She agreed too quickly. That's when I knew this wasn't over. People say cheating is about sex or attention, but that's not the real damage. The damage is what it does to your sense of reality. You start questioning your own judgment. You wonder how long you were the only honest person in the room. Comment below. Do you believe trust can actually be rebuilt after betrayal, or does it change forever? For the next few days, Elizabeth played the role perfectly. Apologies, transparency, promises, but something felt rehearsed, like she was performing remorse instead of feeling it. I noticed how often she checked her phone when she thought I wasn't looking. I wasn't angry. I was alert. One afternoon, while she was out grocery shopping, I logged into our shared cloud account. I hadn't planned to. I just needed clarity. What I found wasn't messages. It was calendar entries, repeating reminders, time blocks labeled vaguely, stretching back months. She hadn't just crossed a line. She'd built a parallel life. I realized my condition hadn't been a test for her. It had been a test for me. I finally understood what mattered most. I didn't confront Elizabeth right away. I needed to know whether I was reacting to pain or acting from clarity. For 3 days, I watched her follow the condition I set, or at least pretend to. She canceled one appointment but rescheduled it quietly. She left her phone face down, not unlocked. Transparency with edits is still secrecy. On the 4th night, I asked her again to sit with me. I told her I'd seen the calendar. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse. I just stated facts. The color drained from her face. She tried to explain away as poor labeling, as coincidence, as me misunderstanding patterns that meant nothing. I let her finish. Then I told her something she didn't expect. I said the condition still stood, but it wasn't about him anymore. It was about honesty. I told her I needed one thing now. One moment of complete truth. No minimizing. No softening. I asked her if she had already decided to leave me before she cheated. She didn't answer immediately. That pause was louder than any confession. She said she'd been unhappy for a long time, that she didn't know how to say it, that the affair made her feel alive again. She said she wanted us, but she wasn't sure she wanted the marriage. I nodded, not because I agreed, but because I finally understood the shape of the truth. If you've ever stayed quiet to keep the peace, type the word clarity in the comments. I told her the condition was no longer about fixing us. It was about respecting me. I said if she wanted me back, she would have to choose the marriage fully, without hesitation, without backup plans, without another life waiting if this one failed. I told her I wouldn't compete with doubt. She asked for time. That was my answer. I packed a bag that night, not in anger, not in drama. I told her I was leaving so she could decide, without my presence cushioning the consequences. I said I wasn't punishing her. I was protecting myself. I walked out, drove to a hotel across town, and slept better than I had in months. The next morning, I didn't feel broken. I felt steady. Elizabeth called me 2 days later. She said she'd ended everything. She said she wanted us. She said she was ready to do the work. I listened carefully. Then I asked her what scared her more, losing me or being alone. She hesitated. I told her the condition had expired, not because she failed it, but because I no longer needed it. I explained that a marriage shouldn't require ultimatums to survive. That love chosen under threat isn't love. It's fear. I told her I forgave her, not for reconciliation, but for closure. If this story resonates, consider sharing it with someone who might need the courage to choose themselves. We filed for separation quietly. No courtroom drama. No public blame. Just two people accepting different truths. I didn't walk away feeling victorious. I walked away feeling intact. Months later, I can say this without bitterness. Cheating didn't end my marriage. Avoidance did. Betrayal was just a symptom that made it visible. I don't hate Elizabeth. I don't miss the marriage. I miss who I thought we were, and I've made peace with that. In your opinion, is honesty more important than loyalty when a relationship starts falling apart? Share your thoughts below. I learned something I wish I'd known earlier. Conditions don't save relationships. Boundaries save people. And sometimes, the strongest move isn't giving someone one last chance. It's knowing when you don't need to offer one anymore. If you found value in this story, like the video, comment your perspective, and subscribe for more stories that explore self-respect, hard choices, and emotional truth.